Welcome to Sega... what is it? Sega Superstars Tennis. I should know, I'm the one who played it. This is a tennis game created by Sumo Digital, and it's basically a big love letter to Sega, featuring tons of Sega franchises. And we're going to start off with Jet Set Radio, so the Jet Set Radio themed world. I'm scrolling through the characters here because I had that graphical glitch with Sonic to begin with, so I wanted to make sure all the characters weren't all screwed up. Yeah, and also just to get a general look at each of them, so... yeah, I had that weird glitch when I hovered over Sonic originally. I'm playing through every challenge with Sonic, so... yeah. Also, if I screw up a challenge, I've edited out all the failed attempts, so... although it looks like I'm one-shotting some of these challenges, especially some of the ones in this Jet Set Radio set, I repeated over and over and over again until I succeeded them. So, this post-commentary Let's Play, one of the main points is to talk about the franchises actually being shown in this game. So, in this case, to talk about Jet Set Radio in this video. But also just to talk about a tennis game for Tennis Month, which I'm now realising was like a total disaster of a feature. I kind of regret it now. Regret trying to do a Tennis Month. It was too ambitious. The people I asked for commentary didn't get back to me. I wasn't able to plan it properly. And I had this Let's Play planned halfway through May. The footage you're watching now was recorded in May. This commentary is recorded almost at the end of June. Tennis Month, June, has been an absolute disaster. There's like 6 days left. I'm not going to get through this game in those 6 days. This Let's Play is going to overrun. So yeah, fussing aside, this is the Jet Set Radio challenge set. In this set, you are mostly painting graffiti. First challenge had us collecting spray cans. That's to introduce us to the concept that you collect a spray can, you can start painting graffiti. Now, we are going to be introduced to simple tags. So simple tags are one colour. There's no deviation, there's no awkwardness, and all you got to do is clear one whole tag to actually clear this mission. Each mission in Sega Superstars Tennis has a clearance rating. Basically, if you pass the mission, it's an A rating. That means that you have, you've basically passed. Is this all single? Yeah, single colour, so no complication. Oh no, I was wrong. They've already added in a second colour, just to make sure that you're on top of things. But yeah, simple tag. Yeah, that's the thing. So, why don't we talk about Jet Set Radio for a bit? Possibly my most famous video, or videos, is the one all about Hideki Naganuma and his music. That video was immensely more popular than I ever thought it was going to be. When I made that original video, I was not proud of it. I thought it was weak. I didn't think it was really that good a video. I knew there were tons of mistakes in the video when I put it up. I knew that I had, like, the wrong samples in certain places. And I knew that a lot of the places I said samples had originated from were not where they originated from. I knew they came from sample packs. But I just wanted to get a video out there because it just felt like something fun to do. I wasn't proud of the video. The video, as of, what, the two and a half years it's been up, has over 10,000 views. It's clearly well received. And I don't really understand what happened. But basically, yeah, when I think Jet Set Radio, the first thing that comes to mind is the music of Hideki Naganuma. I played Jet Set Radio for hours on end. I was never any good at it, but I played it for hours on end as a kid. I think the bright colours really stood out to me. It was basically a game I could put in the Dreamcast and it would blow me away every time. The music was great. You know that big peer-to-peer file sharing thing that happened in the early 2000s? Like, most of the music I downloaded on there was Jet Set Radio music. I mean, that game blew me away in every department, especially the sound. So I'm not surprised that there's such a wide, like, such a wide audience for it as well. And lots more people who enjoyed it besides me and wanted to, you know, get into the music of the series and understand it. And since Jet Set Radio, I discovered Sonic Rush, which, as you probably no doubt already know, Hideki Naganuma also worked on. So it was, wow, just kind of great to see all that love for that video. And eventually I got sort of, I got coerced into making a sequel, as it were. I was on SoundCloud, just uploading one of my works. I think it was SoundCloud. Not a very good track, or whatever, but I posted it up, and I saw that someone was following me. So I followed them back, and I got a rather peculiar message. Hey, are you the escape route from YouTube? I'm like, hells yeah I am! Who wants to know, you know? And since then, the person in question, I've become friends with them on Facebook, and I involve myself in their work, and I've bought more or less everything they put out. And being involved with the fans, and actually meeting people who liked the video, and saying, hey, are you gonna do a sequel? I basically got guilt-tripped into making a sequel to the Hideki video. But yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I got Jet Set Radio when it came out, like immediately after it came out, but I would definitely say, yeah, in the year 2000. It came out November 2000 over here, so I probably would have got it. I imagine it probably would have been a Christmas present. I mean, that sounds the most accurate to me, that it was probably a Christmas present. And just, it blew me away. It blew me away. I've already said that. This is why it would be great to get someone else on. I'm gonna put this video out there and say, okay, this is why I need co-commentary. Sort of get someone else involved. And before you ask, no, not you. I'm kidding. Or am I? Wow, I did a similar thing at the end of my 503 subscriber video. Yeah. So this is the complicated tags. This is much harder now. There are awkward angles, awkward distances. There's actually some parts of these tags I can't hit because I don't know where I'm supposed to be standing and how hard I'm supposed to be hitting it and what type. I didn't realise you could do, I think they're called top spins, until I was reading the manual after this first set of recordings. Wait, I gotta press A, then A and X together? Apparently so, but if you do that, then you can pull off these harder, much harder, like, moves. It's very tricky, but a tennis game like this is immediately more accessible to me. It's a lot more enjoyable, actually being able to control the ball with a significant amount of aftertouch. You have a clear sign of when you're serving correctly or not. You don't really have to worry about serving the ball wrong, like in all those Sushi Bites episodes on tennis that I did. You know, like, those games were so picky about serving the ball. But something like Virtua Tennis or Sega Superstars Tennis, very, very friendly and approachable as a tennis game. No difficulty in serving the ball. So what's the latest challenge? Which one's this? Ah, no, this will be the first singles match. I think this is when we finally unlock some new music, because if I remember correctly, the majority of this Jet Set Radio set is listening to Moody Shuffle over and over and over again. Why Moody Shuffle? Because Moody Shuffle was made by Richard Jakes, and he was the main person on sound design for this title. So, of course, he really pushed his music in as much as he possibly could. Love the guy, great music and everything, but when I think Jet Set Radio, I think Hideki Naganuma. So Richard Jakes can f*** off out and let us have some Hideki tracks after this, yeah? That would be nice. Well, I did do a, well, tried to do a Let's Play of Jet Set Radio Future once.
Yes.
Some of the people who were watching that on my channel may have gone, oh yeah, and then gone looking through and not found it. Well, I had some copyright issues with that. The music flagged up, so I had no choice but to delete them. This was before YouTube brought in its awesome song removal tool, which is just absolutely impeccable and like the best feature they've ever introduced. The song removal tool is absolutely golden. I wish they had that at the time. I wouldn't have to strip the videos out. But I'm so scared of copyright that I had to strip those out. I would love to go back and like start Jet Set Radio Future again and actually do a co-commentary with someone who's played Jet Set Radio Future or someone who loves the Hideki music. But, you know, it's finding the time, and then I found that with trying to get stuff like this to work, you've got to basically find a time that you and the other person are not busy, and it's so hard with different time zones, people working different hours, different days. It's just too busy to sort things like that out. So I was really disappointed about that.
Okay.
So, we should get some music unlocked now. The Jet Set Radio Court for exhibition mode. There we go. Now we get some actual Hideki tracks. Pop up, well, one, but yeah. So, one thing you might not know, one thing you might know, is that the original Jet Set Radio was basically the forerunner of the cel-shading graphics design. Like, you see it so often in games now, in like anime games, games based on anime licenses, it's all cel-shaded. You see it all the time. Like, just for an example, the Naruto games, like Ninja Storm, are cel-shaded. The Bleach games on PSP were cel-shaded. Killer is Dead, cel-shaded. You know, basically that's what cel-shading was. And it's so commonplace now. Yet, Jet Set Radio originated it. Jet Set Radio brought that style in, showed everyone that cel-shading worked. And this is an example of the letters I couldn't hit, by the way. I just could not get this light blue, no matter how much I tried. Luckily, 280 out of 250 is a pass mark, so it wasn't a complete disaster. But yeah, Jet Set Radio brought in the cartoon-like cel-shading style. Nobody had ever used it before, and, you know, really introduced it into game design. So kudos to Sega for trying that. And it's great that they had success with it. The original Jet Set Radio also had graffiti designs made by graffiti artist Eric Hayes, who's quite a notable graffiti artist. He made the game's logo as well as graffiti designs for some of the other characters. There are also other graffiti contributors as well in the game. And recently, I think, yeah, 2012, we had the HD re-release of the original Jet Set Radio on Xbox Live Arcade, PlayStation Network, for PS3 and for PS Vita, Steam. Yeah, I think those were the platforms, yeah. And basically, yeah, it was great playing through the game again, and I'd love to do a Let's Play of that. I think I'm less likely to have copyright flagging issues with the original Jet Set Radio because, I mean, the copious amounts of the tracks that I got away with playing in my 2 Hideki Naganuma videos without copyright flagging. Just the amount of music that wasn't Hideki that I also got away with playing. I think it's because it was quite clear what the intention of using those clips was, but still. Maybe the forcefulness of copyright isn't so bad when it comes to Jet Set Radio. Maybe Sega are more lenient of it. I'm just conscious of the fact that the Jet Set Radio songs are sold on iTunes, so therefore they are currently being sold in a format where people can get hold of them. To use them, it would make sense that somebody would try and stop me. So I'm kind of concerned about that, but the great thing about Jet Set Radio is that you can, and I know this sounds absolutely horrible to say when talking about Jet Set Radio, you can mute the in-game music. I know it sounds horrible to say that, but you can mute the in-game music, so I would be able to put in remixes by some of you guys who have been making music with the Hideki samples and all that stuff. I'd be able to get away with putting alternate music in. Although it would suck to not be playing the game to the music. I'd have to play the game with the music off. That kind of kills some of the soul of the game. I do want to do a Let's Play of it. Weird floating graffiti cam there. This challenge in particular, oh my god, the amount of times I tried this. It's bad enough that Combo will throw sponges to screw you over. I mean, that's bad enough, but also that in general you've got the guards to worry with, the graffitis are all over the place. There's only one challenge that's really harder than this, and that challenge is even worse. I think it's next. Oh, I'm not sure what else, what other shit I can drag up from the Wikipedia article. One thing you may not be aware of was that Jet Set Radio, when it was originally released in Japan, it had a slightly different set of songs to the version that was released internationally. There were a few songs that were actually stripped out the international versions. One of the main notable ones being Danny Boy Williamson's Show by David Soul. And there were a few other differences. For example, in the American version of Jet Set Radio, they actually added the grind square and what's-its-face street levels. You know, the worst levels in the game. The levels that if the game didn't have them, they would be better. Go figure. But it also changed some of the tracks around Jurassic 5 Improvise, Dragula by Rob Zombie, Professional Murder Music Slow was in there. Those tracks, as far as I'm aware, especially Slow by Professional Murder Music and Dragula by Rob Zombie, didn't actually get included in the UK and European version of Jet Set Radio. But basically those changes that were made to Jet Set Radio, like the added levels and the localized text based on the Dreamcast system's actual language setting, was later released in De La Jet Set Radio X, or Deluxe Jet Set Radio. De La Jet Set Radio was only sold in Japan via Sega Direct, so via a special Sega service. So you could only get this version of Jet Set Radio in one place. Beautiful, beautiful hackers. I've called them that before, I'm going to call them that again. Beautiful, beautiful hackers released the Della Jet Set Radio ISO, shoved in the American songs, and packed it all up lovely, and it runs a treat if you've got a Model 1 Dreamcast. It's the best way to play Jet Set Radio, basically. This challenge, this is the challenge I was talking about. You basically have to hit a perfect graffiti tag. That means you Is this the perfect challenge? I think it is, yeah. You cannot make a single incorrect move. So when I clear this tag, no graffiti soul is going to appear, and as such, I will not score a point. But if you clear a tag perfectly, you get a graffiti soul. This is such a picky mission because it's so difficult to guide the ball to its correct location. And you've got to do it for 3 tags. For 3 tags. This one is a nightmare. Green in the top left and in the middle, but luckily the top left is covered. 2 reds and a purple, and you've got to after-touch it just right. That wasn't good enough. And now it's totally screwed. So that tag doesn't count. Luckily, like I said, I've cut in only the successful takes for each challenge. This was at least 5 times. This was at least 5 times I played through this. Crying, tearing my hair out. It would always give me, like... It would always give me ones that I couldn't even hit. You see, I wasn't even bothering at this point. I was just sort of like dancing into the speaker. I had had enough. Yeah. I'm so happy that's over with. Wait, what? What? I've just looked through the Wikipedia article and it says Goji Rakaku from Jet Set Radio made a cameo appearance in Yakuza. Where? Where? Oh, next time Golden Axe. Yeah. Hopefully I'll have someone to commentate with.